is how I does maintain my family. Think it over, think it again. Mr. Chuck, just think it over, think it again. They're trying to tell people I cannot sing calypso. It's only boom boom and do the IWER, I know. But I's the man who sing times hard, let us work harder. 2 months later the bank come to take my car. To be a Kaisonian you have to make fast money. Money for vitamins, you have to eat healthy. You have to drive good car, not no jalopy. You can't come in town looking hungry, hungry, hungry. You have to remember you is a role model. And anywhere you go, people will look up to you. That kind of lyrics, shorty, I them want me to sing. Like they want to see me eating from the dustbin. Think it over, think it again. Mr. Shorty, think it over, think it again. Hail Selassie, think it over, think it again. Cause everybody know IWER could sing Kaiso, the party side of me. That is how I just get work in Miami. Think it over, think it again. Think it over, think it, I say. Think it again. Pling, 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 pling. I hear my telephone ring. When I say hello, it's Pelham Goddard calling. He say, IWER, I'm looking for a shorty. Last year he record, he has some money for me. I hear a beep when I say hello, it's Kenny. Songing like if he have a pain in his belly. He and all want a number for the ras. Cause he find he playing up in the ras. All them songs this man sing to bad talk me. He never paid the studio no money. I don't know why he don't trim that hair on his head and brush his teeth and pee and go in his bed. Think it over, think it again. Think it over, think it again. IWER George. It's over. Think it again. IWER. Think it's over. Think it again. Listen, it's about a Kaisonian who talk to you all. I want to hear the stories. Are you ready to hear the stories? Let me go. Think it over. Think it again. Come in. I know all them Calypsonians listening, and everybody just shoo-shooing, shoo-shooing. They're listening to see if I put their name in my song, because it have other Kaisonians who fight me down. It have one working in the cultural ministry. Every song he sing is the same melody. He gets some doctorate quite up in Michigan, trying to say I given Kaiso bad injection. But when I hear he say more chance.
So beautiful Thursday, 11 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock here on the Street 919 FM. I want to say good afternoon to all of you all that are locked on and listening to us. If you are, for those of you all who are on with us on the YouTube, for those of you all that are on with us on Facebook, I want to say good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon and welcome. I think this is one of the most growing shows that there is on 91.9, and I'll continue to say it's a show that gives everybody that ear and that voice, to be able to bring your opinions, bring the things that you want to say, how you want to say it, respectfully, of course. And of course, we get into the discussions, things that are happening, things that I think some of the things that people are afraid to touch on, or some people cannot touch on, based on either political backing or whatever the case may be. Because there are some people who will call me and talk about that topic and say, but I could not call in, because if I call in and I say X, Y, and Z, they're not telling you, it'll cause pressure for me on the other side. But so is the case. And of course, I want to say shouts to all the listeners and viewers, especially for those of you all who, not just me alone, but you all give us the information that we need, the information as on the ground. Some of us, we have information, and there is the information that some of us, it's not available to us directly forthwith, if that makes sense. And you'll feed us it whether via the WhatsApp lines, via our personal phones. And, and I like that. And, you know, today I was drawn to a post and I laugh now. And I laugh for two things. One is because regardless of anything, this radio station that we have here, this radio station, when we look around and we see defenders of the street, we had a sign somewhere around here at a point in time saying, now we are the defenders of the street. And I've listened to many other talk stations and none of them could bring it. And I've said this many times before. None of them could bring it like how we bring it on the street, because there's a lot of diversity. You're not getting information just on one side alone. You're not getting it from one side of the fence. And even in terms of the complexities of how the radio station is set up, where it is that while we on air, we could pull up a video and show you all. We could go, we could carry you all places with us visually as well. You know? And I think this is one of the reasons too why I would always say that we're rated as #1. But not only that as well, you know. I've seen other entities struggle. And there's always a bar and a level. And that's why too, you see, for me, I tell you all, plain. Nothing could take the respect I have for the bosses. Because at the end of the day, they've made platforms available. Sometimes, not everybody does get it right, you know. But making the platforms available, not just for y'all, but for us, because we also get a avenue to take what we learn and share with you and also learn from y'all as well, which is a great thing. Yeah, sit down and I listen, I watch a thing there, and a post boy, and I had to laugh because it's like, wow, if there's one thing I know that ain't happening is in Trini Bashment at all. Yeah? So, yesterday we was talking about the whole kankana about the US dollar. And what I had done earlier on, and good afternoon to you, Caribbean Soul, good afternoon, Maria Lyons. And you know something, Caribbean Soul, that's something that's your opinion, and we respect that. You know, there are many people who would flip that and say it in a different way, you know, but it's still all good. But we're talking about the US. And the different strains that the US dollar, the availability, it is something now that has actually made international news. People have been talking about the struggle in Trinidad where that is concerned. And I've been monitoring it very carefully. And then there was other stuff that has been coming up. And today I want to play a barrage of videos. Now, the barrage of videos, none of them are linked with one another. Because I was trying for like on a Thursday for us to have that door open. Because there are many things that we could discuss, and then sometimes there are days that we will discuss something specific. I know some persons told me we have more contributions where the US is concerned. Some people were starting to bring in the whole refinery incident. One person called me and was asking me, you know, Dale, how is it that XYZ amount of money spending, and we're getting quotations in US, so the government has access to the money, but we don't, and vice versa. And I know one of the other things, on my way here, I was reading up also on an article where we were talking about we right back to the Paria incident as well. And the cost of a commission of inquiry, the lawyers, how much money they're getting, and the family has not been paid as yet. Seeing all of you all coming in here, tell them I'm here. So I started to look at that and started to wonder, because even thinking about that, it kind of trickles back down to some previous conversations we had where we're talking about crime, fixing crime, how we could fix crime. But if it is even within the justice system, right, on the justice system, whether you're wrong, you're right, lawyers make a pound and a crown. What's the average now that a lawyer charges for a pre-action protocol letter? $1,500? When a lawyer has to go and represent you in court and stand up in court, how much money they charge? $2,500 per case to represent. Sometimes when you're done with a court case entirely, you're looking at almost $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I don't know. But it happens. And then what I'm saying is, if we fix the loopholes in the justice system, in the judiciary, we fix the system where it is that it's fair play for all. Where we don't have to study, this man get locked up once, he gone and he get locked up twice for the same thing over and over. A man getting hold with firearms, he get locked up, get let go, come back out doing the same thing. But then maybe it might hold a crunch on it might sever somebody's pocket in terms of making money. So I don't know, started to think of that and say, boy, was I going to be in a I started to think, maybe I should change my profession to a lawyer. I could well talk. Yeah, son, go to school, and it's too late to go and do a law degree. How long I gonna be out of commission for? A little 4 or 5 years? Go and do a little law degree, get called to the bar, and then become a nice attorney. Yeah, I could do that. And I'm reading the comments while we're going along. And I saw one person said, they'll tell us how can a shortage of US affect a country. Because a guy called and said that that's a little problem. So I don't know if you mean that is a little problem. Is it that what you're trying to say? The shortage of US. And I think that person called in on my program yesterday, saying that the US shortage is a minor thing. Right? Then I saw another thing where a guy is getting 7 million or something like that. So we have a lot to talk about. And I want to kind of, 9 million, sorry. So a man was paid $9 million in the barrier thing in terms of the lawyers. Right? So there's a lot of things that I want to just briefly just start to run through in terms of this is what is happening now in TNT. And then after that, I want to get in. We will open the floor and give you all that air so that we can all touch on things that are bothering us, things that are essential and crucial that is happening within the country. Right? Seeing the thing there. So, is it that you're saying, Caribbean Soul, that the US shortage is a little problem? That it's not supposed to affect the country? So I want to know. So I'm going to open the lines too. 342-008-1466-5391, because it's going to get interesting today, even with those discussions. There was a video that I had. I'm seeing the links. Let me see if it is, because I didn't get to play all the videos even from yesterday. So take a look at this. I want to play this. This is actually just about 3-4 days ago, I believe. This is not even a local entity, I believe. And they're talking about the Forex. They literally kind of taking it as it's a crisis. So I want us to take a look at this. Then I'm going to play the others that are not fully related to the US currency. Okay, I understand now. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I now understand. All right. So let me see. There was a certain part that I marked off. All right. So let's take a listen to this, and then we'll get it. Excuse me. Right.
Welcome to Taking Stock.
Hi, good evening, Kalila. Are you hearing me?
Yes, hearing you very well.
Okay, great. And of course, you should know how to pronounce my last name. I was born on Dukaran Avenue in Kingston.
Okay, and
I'm joking. I'm born in Trinidad. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Are you there now? Because the last video I saw of you, you were somewhere traveling.
Yeah, no, I'm back. Yes.
Okay, good. So for those who aren't familiar with you and your work, just give us a little background.
Well, I'm an economist. I'm from Trinidad. I lived in Barbados for a few years. I do some advisory work and work with governments in the Caribbean as well as the private sector. I'm on a couple boards, private sector boards in the Caribbean, as well as I'm on the board of Capri in Jamaica, the Caribbean Policy Research Institute. Very proud of what they've accomplished. And very proud of what Jamaica has accomplished. I've been talking, at every opportunity about how Jamaica has made so much progress in the last 10 to 12 years. And I talk about the epoch a lot. I saw you mention something about the Prime Minister saying that there might be some changes to the epoch. So yes, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, but I cover the Caribbean and I work with public sector and private sector across the Caribbean.
Okay, so break it down for us. What is happening in Trinidad and Tobago? Is the foreign exchange crisis as bad as it's been made to seem? And what's causing it? But first of all, before we get to the causes, what is the situation right now?
Well, the situation right now is that, so the foreign exchange reserves, which is, I'm sure you keep track of what Jamaica's foreign exchange reserves are in the Bank of Jamaica. Meaning, and that's what we use to calculate import cover. The foreign exchange reserves position in Trinidad and Tobago is just about $5 billion US, which sounds good. It sounds healthy. The central bank says it's, about 6 months or so of import cover. Which
that's about what it is in Jamaica right now too.
Which sounds great, right? Six months of import cover sounds great. And actually, yes, it's about the same as Jamaica, and you have twice the population that we have here in Trinidad. But if it wasn't for the fact that the government has borrowed so much US dollars, and if we take away what they've drawn down from our sovereign wealth fund, our reserves would actually be zero right now. So it's only because the government has been borrowing US dollars and that they've been drawing down on what is our piggy bank, basically our sovereign wealth fund that is supposed to be there to help the country develop into the future, for the future generations to have intergenerational equity with those generations that exist today. If it wasn't for these sources of US dollars, we would have zero reserves. So that's one thing to consider. We still have 5 billion, and the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is called the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, has also just over 5 billion as well. So you might think, well, okay.
The 5 billion, so the 5 billion that are in the reserves, you're saying those are borrowed funds?
Yeah, it's either borrowed or drawn down from the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, which means organically our country is not earning foreign exchange right now to the point where it's building up reserves. No, the reserves from whatever we've earned from exports have been depleted. And so what we have in reserve right now is all either borrowed or withdrawn from our sovereign wealth fund. And our sovereign wealth, called the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, earns US dollars, or the US dollars are deposited into that fund when we earn more US dollars from oil and gas exports than the government budgets. So, for example, if the government budgets to earn $5 from oil and gas for one fiscal year, and we earn $7, a proportion of the $2 extra goes into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to be saved for longer term development needs, so that we have what is called intergenerational equity, meaning that the future generations of Trinidadians and Tobagoans will be as well off as we are today. And that's what, the whole idea behind a Heritage and Stabilization Fund, Sovereign Wealth Fund is, except that we have been drawing down on it for no good reason, really. And during COVID, the government amended the legislation to allow for withdrawals for all kinds of reasons that was not intended initially when the Heritage and Stabilization Fund was initially constructed. So you might think that, okay, we have $5 billion in reserve and we have $5 billion in the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, that's $10 billion. You might think, well, that sounds like a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we had twice this in terms of reserves years ago. And if you look at, so I publish a monthly Caribbean economic report. And actually, this is very important for your listeners to look at. When you go to this report, and what I do is I put a chart for the reserves for all the countries in the Caribbean that I cover. And all of them have, ups and downs and fluctuations in their levels of reserves. Jamaica has done pretty well, and so has Barbados. Our country, Trinidad and Tobago, is the only one where reserves is just down. It's just been declining steadily since roughly 2013 or so. And, the fact that it's declining is simply based on two things. One, we earn most of our US dollars from the oil and gas sector, because we are an exporter of energy, as you might recall, and roughly about 75% or 80% of the amount of foreign exchange that comes into Trinidad and Tobago is earned from the energy sector. Now, the energy sector has not been earning the kind of foreign currency that it used to, let's say back in the 70s, 80s, even back up to 2013. We're earning a lot less now for a couple of reasons. One is the international price of these commodities, but also because of our production being very weak for oil in particular, but also natural gas. Our projections for production are never achieved. We are always falling short of what we expect to produce.
So why is production so far down? Why is production so far down? Is it just inefficiencies, or are you guys running out of these commodities?
So that's a good question. In terms of the oil, we are running out of oil, and we have every so often a Ryder Scott analysis that shows that we're going to run out very soon. We do have more natural gas production than we do oil. But yes, we're running out. And increasingly, the oil and gas that is there is more expensive to extract based on how deep, if it's in deep water, etc. And then you also have competition, like Guyana, for example, is the world's newest producer of oil. And it's much cheaper, to get the oil from Guyana than it is to invest in the infrastructure to extract oil from Trinidad and Tobago. We are a mature producer. We have been producing oil for over 100 years. So it's running out. So this is one of the reasons why we're not producing as much as we used to. The other reason is that you have to incentivize, or the producers of oil and gas, which are mostly foreign in Trinidad and Tobago, foreign owned, it has to make financial sense to them. And, the complaint that they make is that the government doesn't give them enough incentives to invest in the very expensive exploration work that has to be done to discover more oil and gas for them to produce. So it's a complex situation, but you're right. It's generally because we're mature, very mature, and there isn't a lot of oil and gas left, and the government is perhaps not doing as much as the private sector would like it to do to make it make sense financially for them to explore for more oil and gas.
But
so
what
our
about your
production is
manufacturing?
declining. Sorry.
Yeah, well, what about your
Sorry,
manufacturing sector? Because Trinidad and Tobago exports have traditionally, I know Jamaican exporters and manufacturers have always complained that it's an unfair advantage that Trinidad has because you guys have the oil sector subsidized, fuel prices for manufacturers. So you guys have traditionally been strong in manufacturing. So is it that those industries aren't earning US dollars the way they used to either?
Well, that's also a very good question. A lot of what goes into the manufacturing process, let's say food and beverage, right? That's a good example. Food and beverage manufacturing, we have quite a bit of in Trinidad and Tobago. And a lot of the components or the ingredients in the food and beverage manufacturing process, let's just say sugar, for example, is imported. We do not produce large-scale sugar like we used to, you know. And so these ingredients have to be imported, which means we need foreign currency to import it. Now, if there is limited access to foreign currency, then the manufacturers can't get the ingredients that they need. But you know what is more important than everything we've just discussed, Kalila, is the fact that if you have a commodity, let's call US dollars a commodity right now in Trinidad and Tobago. If you have a commodity that's scarce, that the government has $5 billion in reserve and $5 billion in the Heritage and Stabilization Fund, and every couple of weeks they make an injection of these US dollars into the banking system, don't you think that if you control the price of this foreign currency and you have the price set to the same level you had it set since, I think, 2017, if my memory serves me correct. It's in a report I wrote. It's on my website recently. If you cap the price at $6.80 TT for $1 US, and this commodity has become more and more and more scarce, and you keep it at that price, and you control the supply by, you know, maintaining a certain level of injections into the banking system, what do you think happens? You are basically subsidizing this commodity that has become increasingly scarce because you're not earning as much. And instead of allowing, like Jamaica does, allowing some market determination in the exchange rate, allowing the exchange rate to move, you know, Jamaica at one point used to be, you know, just like the Cayman Islands, you know, it used to be actually stronger than the US dollar. And now you have 150, I can't remember exactly what's your exchange rate.
Almost 160 now.
Right. You know, that means that the Bank of Jamaica, in its inflation targeting regime, is allowing the market to tell the Bank of Jamaica what our demand and supply is, and therefore what the price of this commodity called US dollars should be. In Trinidad, in all their wisdom, the central bank there, they should be talking to the Bank of Jamaica to understand how to do this right. But the central bank in Trinidad and Tobago is saying, you know what, we're going to control the price and leave it at $6.80 roughly, TT for $1 US. We're going to control the supply, and guess what happens? You then have a black market. Now, so there is a foreign exchange crisis in that the official market for foreign exchange is very tight. But interestingly, and it was in the press this week, that the black market, you can get almost any amount of US dollars in the black market in Trinidad and Tobago, but you have to pay $7.50, $8, sometimes even more than $8 TT for $1 US. So what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago is that the authorities have manufactured a crisis. This is a crisis that didn't need to exist. And we used to have an auction mechanism up until 2014 where the banks would bid on the US dollars, and therefore based on the price that they bid, the exchange rate used to move just like Jamaica's does, right? Mm-hmm. Similar mechanism, not exactly the same, but a similar mechanism that allowed the market to give that feedback as to what is my demand for US dollars. And the price moved accordingly. They eliminated that in 2014. Why? Nobody knows. And so this crisis that we have now is simply a manufactured one where the authorities basically have fixed the price. They are subsidizing the sale of US dollars. where it could be sold for $7.50, it could be sold for $8, and they are controlling and reducing the access, the amount that they sell to the market. And that is what is causing this crisis. It's purely created by the government.
Because Trinidad's exchange rate is not fixed, theoretically, but they are behaving as though it is fixed.
Exactly. It's called a de facto managed peg, I think is the last terminology. But if they decide to fix it at 680, since I think it's 2017, then it's pegged. It's rough. I mean, the government has just basically decided they're going to peg it at 680 and leave it.
And that is causing severe implications. But here's the part that I'm still confused about, Marla. So if there is, regardless of whether the funds are borrowed, there is money in the reserves. So you have the 5 billion borrowed, you have the 5 billion from the wealth fund.
The Heritage and Civilization Fund, yeah.
Right. Why is it that Trinis can't get US dollars from the banks if the money is there?
Because, okay, so our government, the way the FX mechanism works is that our government taxes the oil and gas companies in US dollars, mostly, right? Those US dollars are basically paid by, let's say, the BP, British Petroleum, it used to be called BP, BHP, whoever, the oil and gas producers are. It's paid to the government, which is the central bank, basically. And the central bank uses those US dollars and shares it. The word we use is injection, but it's shared up amongst the banks on a periodic basis. So every couple of weeks, the central bank will say, okay, I'm coming to the market with, let's say, 100 million. And the banks, based on their market share, get a share of this US dollars. What has been happening is that because they have, as I mentioned to you, they have fixed the exchange rate at 6.8. The black market rate is 7.50 or 8. It means that the government has created speculative demand for US dollars. They have created more demand than would ordinarily exist if the market operated the way Jamaica operates, for example, because everybody is looking at this official exchange rate at 6.8 and saying, wait a second, the official exchange rate is 6.8, the black market rate is 7.5 or 8. And so guess what? We can buy US dollars, hold on to it, sit on it, and then at some point there's going to be a devaluation and boom, we make money. So they've created a lot of speculative demand. So the people who really need the foreign
that used to happen here a lot up until 5 years ago.
So the people like me who have kids in university abroad can't get US dollars because there's so much demand that's soaking up the supply that is speculative demand. The other type of demand that the authorities have created is something called precautionary demand. So when I'm ready for my foreign exchange to pay 20,000 US dollars for the school fees, I don't get it. So what I do is I tell the bank months in advance, I would like to have some foreign exchange, and I buy over time, and I end up asking for more than I really need, simply because if I ask for 20, I'll get 10 over time. So maybe I need to ask for 50. And so this is what everybody does. Everybody is demanding more than they need because they are being cautious. So it's a precautionary demand that is created that would not or otherwise exist if you had easy access. In other words, when something is scarce, you go and you buy it up. Like, remember everybody buying toilet paper during COVID for whatever reason. Once something is scarce, human nature is that we buy up more than we really need to use. Because I'm sure we didn't need to use all of that toilet paper during COVID. But it's the same with foreign exchange. And so they have created more demand than would ordinarily exist if they did not create this artificial shortage. It is purely created by the government. And the real question we need to be asking, which is, I wrote about this and I talked about this a week or two ago, is why? Why are they doing this? That's the real question.
So we have a couple of really interesting observations from our viewers. So let me bring those questions in. Shells says, Jamaicans a ball, said the US dollar too high, but your advice is for Trinis to follow Jamaica, not for Caribbean people to develop products and services that will pay US dollars for. So she's suggesting that the solution is for Trinidad to have services that earn US dollars or to export more, and that would solve the problem.
Indeed, I agree that we need to be doing more to earn more foreign currency so that we can pay for the imports we need, right? That's true for every country in the Caribbean. The majority of the Caribbean earns most of its foreign currency from the tourism sector. There's some countries like Jamaica that also earn foreign currency from the remittances, earn foreign currency from manufacturing exports, but tourism and energy are the two major sources of foreign exchange in the Caribbean. And yes, we need to be doing a lot more to earn more foreign exchange. But again, if you earn foreign exchange, would you bring it in to a country where, for example, and this is what happens in Trinidad. You were talking about the influencers on Instagram. You can have an account, a bank account in Trinidad with 10,000 US dollars. You go to the bank and you ask them, can I get 500? Can I get 1,000? Can I get whatever? Because I'm traveling. If you get $200, you're lucky. You don't even get access to your own US dollars.
Your own money.
So even if you were earning US dollars, even if you were producing goods and services and earning US dollars, would you bring it to Trinidad? And when you're ready for it, you can't get it?
So I want to pause it there because it's a lot that is happening. But I want to ask you all what you think. Because I've been sitting and doing a lot of digging, a lot of research. This was one of the videos that I wanted to play yesterday as well that I had planned in the entire editorial to play. And I'm even watching the comments and I'm seeing some people don't agree with some of the stuff that is said. Some people agree with some of the things that is said. And I really want to get in with you all today, because what is the real cause? Right? We spoke about the value of the exchange rate. And one of the other things that was spoken about as well would have been in terms of holding on to the US dollar. I want to make sure that I understood it clearly, which was holding on to the US dollar for it to have a shortage so that you'll be able to pay more. So if it is you get the US at 6.8, because I know there are people right now selling US at $8 for a US dollar. 8-1. Right? I don't know if I'm afraid of I'm not gonna say I had some US the other day and I sell it. You understand? But the thing about it is US has become such a hard thing to get. And it's not now. I mean, now it's in the media, but a lot of people too as well, they've gotten themselves caught up in the whole US dollar fiasco. Some people actually have to go and buy US black market because of the fact that I'm unable to get it from the bank. The bank telling you, well, it's 200 you could get, and from 200 you could get, you had to make an appointment, you had to show us your flight schedule, you had to show us all these different things to be able to just get US acquired to you. And it leads people now to say, you know what, I'm going and buy US outside. Or when a foreigner comes in, they don't change all their money. They will come here to Trinidad, and instead of going to the banks or whatever to change the money, and they will get it at a higher rate. In terms of they'll be able to get more TT dollars for the US. And those persons, and there's a kind of, a sideline business going on. But my thing is, what is causing the shortage? And one of the things which I totally agree with is that she said, if I'm making US money, right, would I take that money and bring it to Trinidad? Given the fact that right now where things are at, the person saying, if it is I put US money in the bank, and I go to take out. One of our listeners here, I know, was telling me about that the other day. She has a U.S. account in Trinidad. Came to Trinidad to withdraw some money from her U.S. account. They told her she couldn't take out the U.S. dollar. She couldn't take out the money. So then she said, well, you know what? I want to close down my bank account. I'll close it down. So that way, because I'm not getting the service now. I ain't getting what it is I asked for, so I'll close it down. And they said, well, you'll write here a check, a U.S. check, that you can't change in Trinidad because you'll be back to the same nonsense again. And there's problems right or wrong. So what are some of the things? I don't know how y'all feel about it. The lines are open. 342-008 1466-5391. Those are the numbers that we could talk on. And you know, what are your thoughts on it? Because even somebody was showing me a thing there as well. They're saying, you remember when it is a certain man leave the country and went with a briefcase of US to another country, and that is when all the bacchanal and things started to happen, and thing. Like, people were really passionate about this foreign currency thing. And I still kind of hold my ground on the fact that I believe that we had to make some changes country-wise. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome. Good afternoon, caller.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As simple as it is, people not recognizing that if Venezuela is putting a drain on the forex. And let me explain to you how.
Tell me.
They come here for a better living to send back money for their family. We have about 200,000 Venezuelans here. Let us say about 50,000 of them working in groceries and those things. Right? Remember, they now have to send money through Western Union. Western Union is buying forex from, because they have preferential because of what they do. So plenty of that US is leaving the country via that means, and people not recognizing it. Same thing with the Chinese who have the groceries, because they send back their money to China. Same thing as the Syrians who have the gyros and who have the casinos. They send back their money home to store. They don't save their money in Trinidad here. So that is a way that's something that people not looking at, that the forex is going out of the country. Simple, probably about 1 million, 2 million every month leaving the country.
So you think, but the other day there was a story that came out with one of the biggest, warehouses in Trinidad, PriceSmart, and they were showing that they were having issues with acquiring US.
Yes, that's a company, but remember, MoneyGram and Western Union have a different arrangement with the bank, with money transfer.
Right.
So, when they get their money, they buy their money from the thing. Remember, they're going to Western Union now to spend money to Venezuela. They're not sending $50 to Venezuela. They're sending US to Venezuela.
But I don't think that
the US is technically not going.
Right, because I don't think that they physically have the US. I think they have some kind of arrangement where...
Yeah, but they must have it in their account, because if I go to buy something, if I go to America to buy something with a card, I must have it in my account, although it is in Trinidad. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand how the MoneyGram does work.
Yeah, but they must have that money in their hand to be able to send it. I mean, I went to buy something from China, and they have to get permission from a bank, has to get permission from central bank to be able to send money to send US to China.
Okay.
Although that transfer, the money must be physically there. Although that electronic transfer.
Right.
It's kind of confusing, but I see it as a problem. Have a good day.
Yeah, man. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dale, and good afternoon to your listeners. Dale, my take is, apparently, almost everything that politicians put their hand on end up in challenges, right? But according to your last caller, there is a clear imbalance in electronic transaction and cash transactions, because many times person might be doing electronic transfers, but as the man say, cash have to be available at the point of transaction where the item is you're getting or whatever. But as I say, everything politicians touch just somehow happen to end up in a certain way where we end up with the shitty end of the stick. And that's the way how the cookie crumbles in Trinidad and Tobago. Because we heard previously that talking to the dead for over $500,000 US. Over $500,000 US. People getting access to have communications with people in the afterlife and all kind of rubbish. Bill, it's not easy in this place, you know. It's not easy in this place here called Trinidad and Tobago. Everywhere you turn, Dale, it have somebody who have a problem with you talking about the issue and trying to resolve the issue. It's always somebody coming up with some ridiculous excuse of why it have to be so and why it have to go so. What about other persons who are finding creative ways to deal with the challenges that come up in life? Everybody want to make an excuse for a politician of why things going on so all over the world, so it's okay for it to be happening here in Trinidad. And we refuse to look at the character of individuals. Refuse to do so, you know. I'll call back in the next hour days because I have a question and I hope you can answer it for me, because up to now, nobody don't want to answer it.
Attention business owners, are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959, 384-2232 or 378-1470.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Oni Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Are you searching for the perfect venue for your wedding reception, company retreat, graduation celebration, or just an unforgettable party? Well, look no further. Vibes Event Space is ready to bring your event to life. Located at number 15 Mount Pleasant Boulevard, Bonaccord, Tobago. Our space offers the perfect settings for any occasion. Call us today at 394-3612 or 620-3057 to book your date. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Vibes Event Space to see what we're all about. Make your next event one to remember at Vibes the Event Space. The Event Space.
Black Friday starts now at Quartz. Get new and amazing deals every week with the lowest prices on the hottest electronics, top-of-the-line appliances, and stylish furniture. No need to waste your time shopping around. Plus, you can shop now and pay us in February 2025. For unbeatable value, the best deals are only at Quartz, bringing value home.
are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer every Friday evening, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this ministry deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated and can be sent through the First Citizens Bank, account 795-222, in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For more information, please call 753-1113. May God richly bless you.
The light of your glory.
The Street 919 FM mobile app is now live. Keep in the loop with all your favorite programs. Be in the know first and carry us wherever you go. Listen and watch us live at the click of your fingertips. Download our mobile app now. Go in your favorite app store, whether it be Android or Apple, and type in The Street 919 FM.
When I come back, I go pay my bill.
Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So we're back on the inside. I want to say good afternoon and welcome to each and every one of you all that is inside with us this afternoon. The doc is in the building, the voice, I'm here. And we continue the discussion. 3420081 4665391. Those are the numbers to call. Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Hey Dale, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Long time.
Long time.
I can meet you. Well, Dale, two things I want to touch on. One, let me touch on this one quick and fast. You know, long time, and when people used to batter, you want to buy something, you walk with 6 cattle, 2 sheep, and you know if you have a provision, everything, you walk with that, and you buy it because you batter, you exchange, and you get it. And they start with the coins, right? And you use coins. What the message I want to say this is that it's an easier way to trade. Because after the coin comes the note, and you'll be using the notes for a very long time. But that's how season them used to do it. After anything, the days these people them, you go to the market. This one about 16 cattle, head of cattle. That one about 30 thing I go and thing, and people think they want that, and everything. But for me to come and buy a motor car from Dale and I had to work with about 300 head of cattle and all kind of stuff, that makes sense. They call that evolving. You can't be stagnant. You can't be curling because when you go, I go in Jamaica and stop and pump my little gas in my SUV and come up to about what, $2,300 Jamaican dollars. I don't walk around with $2,300 Jamaican dollars and when I go to buy something to eat, I'd have about another what? Another 700 Jamaican dollars. I want to see that thing. And I too much cash to walk around with because none of people are robbing and I think about that. They're too bulky. You go to the ATM, you have to take out that someone is $10,000 and $12,000 that to be taken out of the ATM, and when the ATM dispense that to you, it's not too much cash. What happened in that? It bulging up in my pocket, I can't walk properly. Come on, man, you're moving on and the world is changing, everybody doing things different. It's easier for me, boy. Let me use my card and pay it and not pay the service charge on the card. Well, I go argue that. Because some of the banks killing me with that. But the lady said something in the thing that you think. She said that the manufacturers that who export has to buy the raw materials and they had to pay US dollar for that. And I totally agree that she's absolutely correct. But however, the manufacturers and them in selling the final product back that they export, they include that into the product, and that's how they make profits. So I don't know how she calculating all that and the spending of the money and she think, because she off. She missing a lot of points that if she added to her argument, it wouldn't be as how she is saying and how we are losing US dollars. And I have always bantered for a $1 Caribbean dollar because we have to come to that point at some time, in order to challenge the world, because things are getting harder, things are getting tighter, the world is getting smaller, because I could go on my smartphone and tell you what is happening in New York. Long ago, we didn't have these sort of thing, and I could go on my smartphone and see the latest Nike, and I want to buy that, I have to pay US dollars for that. I mean, I'm not bringing in any US and adding nothing to the treasury, but I want that, and that's my right. My card, I have my money, my $30 in my account, and if I want to take all that and go and buy a Nike that costs what, $1,200 US dollars, and I feel that I want that, I could buy it. So we have to look at that too, and how our appetite for the foreign products is impacting on the US dollar, and one of the major things that killing our US and sucking our US. Corruption. That was a report that I did listen on the BBC some years ago, that they saw a lot of foreign currency leaving Trinidad and Tobago and ending up in Europe. And the narcotic, that drug trade. Because when them boy and them people and them moving the drugs and those things, there's not $30 that drug lords and them in Colombia and them wanted. Them ain't want to see no TT dollars. You have to handle them in the US dollars. And when you do that, you have a problem because at one political time, one particular time, we had a economy of the drug money was coming into the country and was an underworld of that happening. So it had two economies. But when you started tightening and screw on the clamps on that, you will see people starting to push back and you will see you look at it. Because in 2008, I think when United States had a meltdown, Trinidad wasn't feeling it much, because the drug trade was live and kicking. Men had money to launder, so men was just pumping out the money. And it was a good time to move things and to get things done, and you're pumping out your money and you're thinking it. So you have about 16,000 US dollars and you don't mind trying to get that into the system and paying a percentage about you losing things. So you're actually having into the system that you watch 14,000 US. You're still better off. And that's part of the problem. So I think she needs to calculate things like that and how it impacts countries in the Caribbean. Because I reading what it was to Barbados, Nia Motley, she think with the XM Import Bank because they have problems with US dollar too. Guyana, same Guyana too. Ghana, so all the XM mobile money they're talking about, Ghana they have some little problems with the US foreign currency. So that is why I am pushing the argument for the Caribbean to go with a one Caribbean dollar. But the countries have to come to know how to work it out, and because of each country has a different value on their currency. But instead of we trading all the way on the US dollar, we have a Caribbean dollar that is recognized worldwide, that we could spend our money with a Caribbean dollar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have some more calls on the line. But before I do that, the Street 919 FM is your platform for informed debate and critical thinking as we divide into the heart of political and social issues, empowering you to make informed decisions. Join our Facebook community on the Street 919 FM and connect with like-minded individuals. Share your thoughts, engage in constructive dialogue, and stay updated. Follow, like, share, and be a part of the movement. I want to say good afternoon to all our Facebook listeners as well. Sarah Richards, good afternoon to you. HJ Trucking, Donald Griffith, Palmer, see you. Lucille Phillips, and all the others that is on the inside, guys. So make sure you type in the Street 919 FM. Street 919 FM is together. So it's the separate, Street 919 FM separate, together, I mean. And you're going to find us, follow us, and some interesting things going to happen on our platform. All right? And of course, shop the best Black Friday deals now at Furniture Plus. Enjoy massive savings store-wide. Get up to 80% off mattresses. Buy one, get one 50% off. Selected items, 40% off smart TVs, bedroom and home office furniture. 35% off living room furniture. 30% off appliances and more. Plus shop combo deals galore. No cash, affordable hire purchase plans available. And all Furniture Plus stores open today. Come shop the best Black Friday deals now at Furniture Plus. So going back to the lines, caller, good afternoon, welcome.
I must say, good afternoon to you. Pass me Barrow one time now. Yeah. Let me say good afternoon to you, Daily Voice, and good afternoon to your listeners at this time from 2 to 4. I want to thank you again the Sunday after the cleanse my ears, because I believe that sometimes when people call me, they try to speak independent, but they end up sounding like what party they really representing. The voice, I have a card, a US card, a credit card, what they call it, gold, and it has $5,000 US on it. But I don't really buy things online just so. Sometimes if I somewhere I might use my card, like if I want to leave my next bank at home and this kind of thing. But I don't really because it there for me. It just it's long day, and so I don't really fancy. But I just only use my bank alone. I don't go no other ATM and use it because I'm not paying taxes. That kind of tax. I am saying tax-free must be for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I am not going to use, let me say, if I was Citizen Bank, I'm not going to use Republic Bank and take out money there. I'm not going to do it. If I look at your outlet, if I go in the store and I see your outlet is Scotiabank links, I'm not going to swipe my bank card there because I know the just on that what it's going to be. So I'm looking for my label to use. I'll get a percent off for using it, and I do it because when I go to the ATM, they tax you for using the ATM, and that is my money in the bank. Then I love to feel money in my pocket. I love to feel 5,000, 10,000 in my pocket because I'm a person I like to carry money about. It means that I meet somebody along the way. If I go in the grocery and I find the cashier was nice to me, I say drink a juice. I find the trolley boy or the trolley girl was nice and nice to me. I say look at $10, look at $5. So I just do it. So I love to carry cash on me, and I small Monica. I love cash. I love money. I love to feel it. And I mean, and I'm saying yes. I go leave some in the bank, of course. But I want my cash on me. I don't know what people. I want cash. I want 5,000, 10,000 on me. You know, me to feel my money. So, why we must stifle people from buying without a buy on online? Before 2015, online was a thing people could have go on freely. It would bring this thing to tax the poor people. That if you go in them, and that is why they bring that tax. It is to make the people go by these so-called friends and them what they have, who have furniture place in this country, because you go in a big furniture place. You see what Black Friday people look for deal. You go up, you see a 52-inch down here. It's for over $40,000, and you go online. You see it for $200 US. $200 US for lines. We will go and buy it. And the country at that time in 2015, everybody was adapting to online buying. And Inbut said, nah. Inbut said, you're mad. Look how much money they're spending online. And he said, now we have to tax that too. But they said the yacht boat, and that way we cannot play. We must play country first. We cannot try to coin to try to be intelligent and be the best spokesman for who. But I want to make it clear. When I call in here, I do not call on WhatsApp call. I call directly. And you hear it? I will say, when he come back, he gonna pay bill. I will have a face. I will could walk in anyway, and they might say it's free and all. I have to pay my bill there. I can't leave the restaurant and say I coming back here. And I want to tell you this. My bill for my phone, and anybody can check it up. It's $350 by digital every month. I have to find $350 because I have a plan. I don't want to do it because here once a man told me, the kind of talk, he said, but you can't have an expensive phone and you have a plan on it. See, the phone you have an expensive phone and you have a plan. You have a plan on the phone. It doesn't make no sense to have a plan. When you go by somebody, every you have to be asking, where your code? No, I am activist. I on the road, I on work. So I updated, I following Trump, so I updated by seconds, I knew what's going on in the place. I don't want to wait until I reach home to hear bing, 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 bing. No, I do not live that kind of life. I sorry. I am sorry. I am not squeezing my belt to please nobody out here. My belt loose and to maintain my lifestyle. Until anybody want to maintain my lifestyle, they go say Kingsley, be this party and that party. I pay $350 monthly on my mobile phone. I don't have one phone. Right? I not buy a phone there for $1,700. Not buy a next phone about 3 days ago. I do not play games. I'm a serious man. Because I don't understand the right? People want you to say tighten the belt. This country have money to burn. This country have, anybody tell me this country don't have money, they're stupid. They know nothing about this country. This country, there's people running to come in this country still, by. This country have money to build highways and byways and 4 and 3-story building of library. Look how much library we building in this country, what, 4, 5 million, 6, 5 million. Eh? And you want to tell me this country don't have money? How could you be vying for office and telling the people that this country don't have money? It didn't make sense, but I invite for office. Tell us what is the revenue you're going to bring in to give us more money. The government lying and saying, I think the belt and the opposition lying and saying this country has no money. But both of them lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Why these pockets are getting full? And I want to make it clear as I close now. You see that money talk in Parliament. I want to tell Kamala Prasad Bisasa that you are right not to take that money because you don't get enough money already. You don't get enough money already. So you have all right to reject that raise and pay what the Parliament Committee, Finance Committee said that politicians have to get money.
But Kingsley, let me ask you one quick question. Yeah. I know you're saying that Kamala Prasad Bisasa has a right to say that she's not taking any money. But if the bill is passed, everybody benefiting, both present and opposition.
Every single one benefiting.
So what you're saying is that if it passed, she's going to deduct her salary and give back to the people the extra money?
None of them. If Dr. Rowdy man right now and say, hey, I taking that money. And none of them, Kadisha, Jordan John, and Robert talking, none of them is going to say, hey, is that money where we get in the extra? I'm going to pay it in Lavantil. I'm going to pay it in Mova. I'm going to pay it in Badpo, in the poor communities. I'm going to pay it in Superior. They're going to take it and fill the pocket the same way. So do not be misled by these 41 politicians today who is playing to get back in power and who is playing to stay in power. Stand by to know who is going to make these people, because we want to know about the people of this country mustn't pay tax, you know. The people of this country must get proper road, you know. The laws of the land must change, you know. And that is the rejection I will be sending the people to vote for. Don't vote for a two system party where one go, one come, and the same shipness, because none of them, UNC or PNM, is looking to change the constitution. Because if today, tomorrow, Kamala Prasad Bisasa win, she have the same powers today as what Dr. Rowdy has. I want to thank you very much, Lady Voice, for giving me this opportunity to express myself and to express it the way I believe that the people on the ground understanding it. Thank you very much.
Well, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon again, Dave.
Good afternoon.
Kingsley, the best thing that ever happened here is when the UNC left here. Because you see, all that they say now is honest truth. It's the honest truth. And then I just want to ask one question before I leave. If you could answer it. But for the people whose answer is that they trust Dr. Rowdy and they trust the PNM, one that is the answer, that is not the answer I'm looking for. Right? The question I have is, Dale, what is the responsible action that the government ought to take as it relates to the Salary Reviews Commission's offer? The Dr. Rowdy said his government always acts responsibly and do the right thing. I'm asking the citizens, right, what is the appropriate and responsible action that the government ought to take? If you could answer that, Dale, feel free. If you don't want to, it's all well and good, right? But I'm waiting to hear the nation say, before our politicians say, what is the appropriate and responsible action.
So what you will do if you're a politician or you're in that position and you're getting a salary raise, you ain't going to take it?
I will do that, Dale, that is a beautiful question, and let me respond. Dale, based on the fact that I lead in this nation and I have been telling persons tighten your belt, make these type of adjustments, contribute collectively, all for the benefit of the nation, I would have shown some character and lead by example and put the Salary Reviews Commission in their place. And if I could, I would have fired every one of them, because they ought to be in line with what is taking place in the nation. Nobody is saying that is your job and you don't have to do it and them kind of thing, you know. But you're out of touch based on the fact that the offer of the CPO is nowhere close to those kind of proposed raise. Is nowhere close to that. So how could I, with all good conscience, accept that offer now when I have been telling people to tighten up your belt? That would have been my my response. It would not even have to reach the parliament.
But bring
that up in my face right now.
Okay, but what was explained? What was explained was that that's part of the commission's job. They have to do that once they bring it to the president, and then it's brought forward to the parliament. The parliament have to think it as soon as possible. So I mean, you know, kind of. I don't know. You there still, Chris? All right, let me go to our next one. Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
And I agree with you, because basically that is the role of the SRC compared to the CPO and them thing, because people have to understand there's a difference between the public officers and the public servants. They bargain different, because a public officer can go and down tools, go outside the building and pick up a thing and write up. We want fair thing, because judges and them do that, what will happen, boy? If these high public officers do like what the unions and them just do with the CPO and them, what will happen? Because that is how that, because it's two systems of bargaining for money. What they do is they just put that. You look at the years, they look at the inflation, and the other they put. They just compile a report, and then the report has to go to the president. The president will have it to the politician, and they go to in the parliament, and they argue why they should get it. And if you as a citizen find they ain't supposed to get it, you know how to make your voice be heard and say, no, they can't get no money because of this and that and the other deterrent. And because they will decide. So when Kamala come in to ask that say and come thing, and I not taking anything in the time, like just a sham, because basically she have to say that in the parliament. Let it go on Hansard. So that Kamala said so. So we would know. So if she says she don't want it, and they probably settle for what? If the government settle for 2% for everybody across the board, or 1% for politicians and 3% for the judges and for the auditor general and all these other things, so be it. But to say that you don't want it and this and that and that, these and the judges then deserve a salary and all kind of thing.
You believe that's a smoke screen?
Yeah, a smoke screen, because basically it boils right back down. That these people also looking too. But I will
pause it there. We're gonna do our thing for our friends at Royal Castle, and we'll be back. Give us a call back.
Okay, Rudolph, make her right. Then, oh, hold on, Mrs. Claus sent a The elves are hungry. Pick up a Royal Castle Queen bucket, a King bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra delicious coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, potato salad, and a snack box for yourself. Oh, and don't forget that delicious honey mustard sauce. It's really lashing. Okay, Rudolph, let's get that delicious local Trini flavor. Royal Castle, here we come. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Happy holidays from Royal Castle.
Hey. Get down. I see her and I want her. I got to have her. Hey. Them Spanish mujer is all I adore. Them Spanish woman. I like to see them when they walk and whine. The full of and tenderness is so fine. You know how to cut and how to contrive to keep their family alive. So this year I want to take home a Spanish woman from Aruga, Spanish woman from Cumana, from Blanchichet. Bring them in here from Aripo, Sangre Chiquito, Spanish Royal, Coco Paya. I see her and I want her. I got to have her.
Hey, Baron, is that woman going there, boy?
Hey, boy.
Look, she going there, boy. And for your interest, she is honey.
You're lying.
Christmas is coming, and we're heading back to T&T for that famous Royal Castle chicken. We just love the Royal Castle family meal with those 12 pieces of tasty chicken, the 6 yummy sides, and that refreshing 2-liter soft drink. It's just perfect for a nice Christmas lime. So if you're hustling and bustling like me, or if you just want some great tasting food, pick up the Royal Castle family meal. Happy holidays from Royal Castle. Ho, 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 ho.
So we're back on the inside. 342-008 1466-5391 is the numbers that you can get in contact with us this afternoon. I have some voice notes as well. So some people sending some information as well. Let me see if I could find my mouse. Where is my mouse? Right. Let's see.
Big brother, good program as usual. Yeah, man. Apart from everything in our titles pray for, that destruction hit this land. When I mean destruction, earthquake, tsunami, storm, and wipe out. So nobody ain't got time to go in nobody's house and invade, and nobody ain't got time to talk about PNM and UNC. You understand what I'm talking about? That's why I just really pray and wish for destruction upon this land. And it coming, you know. Don't get wax. It coming. You go see for yourself.
What? Why you would pray for? Why you would pray for destruction? Why destruction would be the only solution for better? Jesus, Lord, Father, I rebuke it in Jesus' name. Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, Dean, I want to rebuke that in Jesus' name. You understand what that means to the
you understand what he's saying. You understand. Yeah. That is not the solution, and I'm not accepting it. And in the same method that it's been brought onto the airwaves, I rebuke it 1,000 times fold. It ain't go happen. We have to find the solutions to fix our country, and what you should be praying for is for a sound mind of the leaders, a sound mind of the opposition. You understand? Give the people the testicular fortitude to do the right thing. Let the soul. You understand? That's the thing you have to pray for. You can't come and pray for destruction. I'm mad, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
love for the people, love for everybody.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need love. We need people who have evil and wicked intentions and wicked hearts to change the ways. That's what you have to pray for, you know. That's the kind of prayer you have to pray, you know.
Boy, Lord.
But these are the things that opens the minds of the people as well, for you to understand that just as there are people who are praying for good, there are people who are praying for bad. And in fact, there are more people praying for bad than good. And there are more people in what did they say? Is wolves in sheep's clothing.
And if we fail, there will be blood in the streets. Because why? Because I can't get my way. Anyhow, but to for understanding on how I look at the whole system of governance and politics and everything. Other than, you see, the government came in and remember at one time they said there was no money to pay public servants. They meant that where the taxes would be collected from BP and Shell and all these other things and the big companies, it goes into the Inland Revenue and enter the Treasury. And the government will pay salaries based on those things because of the budget that they estimated. So you always have to have a flow of money in the Treasury to do these things. So when the government said that there was no money to pay public servants, they had to go and borrow. For that time, they had to go to the local banks and borrow. And when they borrow local banks, obviously people back in TT. So this is where the girl, where you said she talking about the government borrow, but she using that holistical crossy-board painted thing. So I know the government, when they're doing the mega projects, they go to the IMF, not the IMF, sorry, the World Bank and thing, and they borrow. All government does that. They go to the thing, or they go to the Chinese, they tell the Chinese, build a train hospital there for me. The Chinese build everything, put everything in, and then you have to pay them. You're paying the Chinese back in US dollars. But what I want to say is that for the government now to go and renegotiate with BP and say, listen, I know the past administration, you all had an agreement and it was signed. There's nothing they could do it because that is a signed and binding agreement by law. Trinidad and Tobago government was powerless to force anybody to do anything. But if you could sit down and come with a master plan that you could show these people and them that, listen, you give me back this money here, I am guarantee you I could work to get the dragon gas fields in Venezuela, everything, and we go make more money and all of us will be happy. Right? And they decide to give you it and say, here what? Hold this, I'm going to invest more money in things to a couple billion, so you get all of that. The government now has a responsibility when they get that money now to spend that money wisely because they said to you that you have to ban your belly and everything. So when the unions come and they want 12% and 15%, some of them want 20%, and the government say, I can't pay that. And it reached the court, and the same industrial court, which is pro-workers. Don't anybody fool all over that. You see that industrial court is pro-workers, and for good reason. That just asks you the unions to bring forward your facts, the people think. But if the government show at the time you can't pay it, take your 4%. And start a new negotiation because now that the country is making more money, now you can push for higher wages and salaries. But to say that you ain't taking it and you stand up right and you win, and how much years pass and you start a new negotiation, you're wasting workers' time. So basically, what I just trying to say is that we have to look at things when we're looking at governance. You know, some people look at the party. I really look at the structure of your governance and what you do and how you do it. And if I am to say that you're not giving the politicians any wage increase, I would say they need a little wage increase, probably a 2% increase, nothing big. But also looking at this, those money from the airport after 27 years. I had that down a dead money, especially when Section 34 was there and helped a lot of them get off of the case technically. For that government to mastermind a system of getting back money, 34 million in life support to get back, the 134 million US dollars in the airport scandal, the $1 billion bond, which was a clause removed to protect taxpayers, not the politicians, taxpayers. You remove the clause so the bankrupt man could go the money and go Brazil with that money. But you fought and you get it back. I am saying, let me work out, because that money was dead money. We don't get that. Let me work out a small commission and get them a little percentage of that. Probably a 0.1% of that money. Where the government, where these politicians fought for in the court and won handsomely for the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago, let's get them a little percentage out of that. If you don't want to give them the increase, if you only insist that this time no increase, but get them because they work hard, they did well. Compared to somebody who's saying down and coming to work and having a 5-day weekend. You know, you have 5-day weekend, you hardly come in the parliament. You think when you do up here in the parliament, you can really contribute little to nothing. but I am going to reward you. No, we don't reward people when they do work. And I think that's how the parliament should be structured now. They have an evaluation system of your performance, and based on your performance, you can be rewarded with increases in salaries and wages and things. But if you're a lazy bum and ain't doing nothing, why must I pay you? You are your yard man to come there and you tell him, listen, I want my yard clean sorting, and when you come back in the evening, he wants you $250. And he have the yard in him clean, this thing, that, and a mess, but you happily paying him $250? No, it don't work so. So when we apply that to the politicians, those who working and performing, put a system in place that you evaluate them and see how good they're working, and we pay them based on that. Because don't tell me nothing about these politicians doing like if politicians come from Mars. The politicians is normal people. I could be a politician. Let me say I am a politician in the next 5 years. Or they'll be costing me the same way too, and I might be talking here and talking about, hey, this, that, and if I was there, I would do this, and and soon I get inside it, the contractor come and put some money in front of me, and I take the $10 million bribe from the contractor and them, and I don't care if I get fired, because once I can get it, keep my 10 million, because I come in to parliament broken, and I leave in $1 million here. Ask the man who oversee EMBD. Thank you.
Listening today, listening. I have some other callers on the line and some voice notes as well. Just 1 second here.
Jesus Christ, rebuking that. I can't believe what I just hear. Jesus Christ, rebuking that. However, Dale, I have a suggestion. Everybody murmuring about the salary increase or parliamentarian and what. Dale, I have a suggestion, so everybody go be happy. Whatever percentage they think that, let me say is 6% they want to increase their thing by. I have a little suggestion. Increase theirs by 3%, and the next 3% added to the 4% that they offer public servants. So everybody go be happy. Yeah. No more murmuring, everybody get increase.
Oh, God.
I go. See?
Well, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for holding.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know what I realize? That some people who preach this destruction, they feel like when the destruction comes, they go hit PNM people alone and go pass on everybody else. That is the only thinking that you can make a statement like that. Have a good day.
On national radio too, eh? But I don't know. I don't know. But you see, these are the things that it helps us as a people. It helps us as a people understand where we stand, where people think, how they think, the way that they think. Because sometimes we live in a naive world or in a naive space where it is that we believe that, everything hunky-dory now. Everything hunky-dory. And sometimes we battling things and we facing little difficulties and little things that happening. And for us, we saying, boy, I don't understand why this thing happening the way it happening. But we don't understand it further than that, We get here live day, a man call and say he praying for destruction. And if a man could say I'm praying for destruction, what else could somebody be praying for? You didn't feel it as some people praying about the crime? For it to continue doing things and wicked necromancy and all these different things, for it to remain, for the country to remain the way it is, because they're benefiting from it. Think about it now. It probably I'm gonna say that. No deal, don't say that. Don't say that deal. But it are probably are people who benefit from the underworld that is up on the outside world. Only follow me closer. I don't want to say it direct. They're benefiting from the works of the underworld and crime, but they are upstanding citizens in public, and they benefit from crime. So you know what? In the quiet time, they sit down and they'll go down on their knees and they pray for it to continue. And they do all kind of manners of evil so that it will continue. I hope this all your clarion call, as some people would say, to stand up as a nation and pray. All right. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Mr. Dale. Hello?
Yes, good day.
Yeah. Mr. Dale, I got the thing. No. People only calling about the rebuking and the rebuking. So don't need Elijah alone to pay for the destruction. Come on. People seeing what's going on in the country. Everybody right now, CNN, UN, this, that. Look now the world. When this time and Gomorrah look like some school. Because you know what's the world going today? People don't understand what's happening. The only thing to change people is that destruction. That would man mean. People have a kind of one-set mind.
You feel that's what he mean?
You have to know. I mean...
Or you trying to turn it into that's what he mean?
Man because, you understand? That's how he feel. You understand? He's seeing what's happening. You understand? Nobody is saying, all right, people, all these people that we stand up for ourselves and all this other stuff is going on, we have to change that. No. The solution is peace. We are doing nothing. We just taking everything to the system, to politicians, all politicians. So I can't see how the people only think and people we inflict our own injury and we help.
Right, so then what is the solution, caller? What is the solution? What is the solution? What is the solution?
The solution is
not pray for destruction. So what is the solution?
Let's start keeping public meetings for we. You understand? We have to get together. Let me come out organization. Because some of the let me tell you something. Some of us are bright people. Then university and have no work out here. We could build an organization. We could research and get these people and build an organization to stand up for we, you know. You understand? And we understand, you understand? Let them stand up for we in parliament or wherever, you know. We just live in a kind of a way and putting all these solutions to parties, boy. And them how we done how we is today, boy. And people not understanding that. Don't you want the solution is UNT? Solution is them is not the solution. We is the solution.
All right.
You understand? My son of a God.
Yeah, man. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dale. You're so correct. Yes, you know the opposition to this government is doom and gloom. You could tell me what they want. If you check out the statements and the actions, they just want this government to look bad and fail. You understand? But if you check reality, from where we come from 2016 to now, Dale, I think the government is doing a good job. Because to leave your deficit from 16 billion and bring it down to 6 billion or 5 billion, according to the figures that they're telling you, is very good for the economy. So that every time you decrease the deficit, you increase what you could spend. So what is going on right now? The government is looking at, let me say, getting the monies up to a level where they'll be able to at least give the workers more, because without the workers, nothing prosper, you know, nothing will be productive, you know. And what going on right now, the Salaries Review Commission showing that, let me say, it's 15 or 20% increase that could be given to these 3,000 public servants. Well, according to what the Salaries Reviews Commission is saying, the CPO now should take cognizance of what is going on with the SRC and pass it on. The Minister of Finance and all these, the Prime Minister and all, should review what they are offering to their workers so that everybody will be comfortable with whatever is given. And until that, let us watch and see what is going on, because we cannot change reality. Without finance, nothing can be done in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, Dale? Thank you very much.
All right.
Dale, good afternoon, PDP, Roxborough. So watch now. The Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesta, that lovely woman, mother of the nation, you understand? Rejected the salary increase and all her vex. It's politics she playing. You should take it now, all of that say, all of that still vex. So don't care what the woman do, you can never please all her. All her heart too heavy against Indian, that's all her problem. Like when all see them Indian and them in a nice car and them cannot watch that one day. You understand? I don't know where you get that money there. No, it's not like that. You understand? Remember, it's the same Indian woman who all hate. Raise all the pay twice, huh? Them old people and them who just bought out that same Indian woman there. She raised all the pension twice. You understand? The black man that all the love and adore and all of this praise. How much time he raised all the pay? I remember when he took office, he raised his pension. How much time he raised all the own? Yeah? Let me talk now, let me hear now. The black man that all the love. You understand? I remember that the Honorable Kamala, that sweet lady boy, used to throw Christmas party and thing for them children and them when Christmas come around. You know what the black man come and do? Take away that. She gets school children laptops, the black man come and take it away. $500 to single mothers, the black man come and take it away. Oh, she encouraging her to breed. The man is like the Grinch. The man is like a witch, an evil witch. He is the Grinch that stole Christmas. This Christmas we should be receiving a back pay. You understand? You hear what you see back pay? 1 million. And they say, well, if all they get a back pay, all they got to lose all the jobs. How come he ain't talking so? This disgusting human being, boy. How come he just silent since this thing come out? Yeah? And all only talking about, oh, Kamala thing and Kamala pain. But that boy, that is a mother, boy. That is a woman who love people, boy. The black man there for so much years, so much black people benefit off of he, boy. When she was there, she say about she people and them one is that a little like, boy. And as always say, one of them greatest trick is to let black people believe that it's a black people party, you know. Just like how the devil greatest trick is let mankind believe that it will exist, you know. But fire burn this disgusting man and his administration, boy.
Caller, good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon.
Come to your program, and I mean every caller have the right to view and have the contribution and respected. But I don't know if I could remember. You remember under the NAR when the police marched around the Red House and they say it was illegal? You were born at that time, or you know about it?
I heard about it.
Nice, my brother. Okay. And it was illegal, nothing come out of it. So with the public servant who to protest. Anybody, I think, might be able to protest. That is one. And two, Dale, if we look around this country right now, I want an honest opinion from every Trinidadian who go on the bus route to get a bus, all who walk around town, sour, arena with the garbage, what at how this country really running. Most of the ministries, if you go in, they cry, there's no money. And the Minister of Finance, they're putting out money. You go by the HDC, for the past year, no money. You go by the corporation, no money. You go by the fire station, no money. You go in the police station, everybody complaining but no money. You know what I hear you ask? What could solve? What is the contribution to solve or to make them? I say time to start letting government, public servant, ministers, everybody account for the spending of the public purse. And if Like how with the Auditor General, it's the first time they ever hear about the Auditor General in this. Now, nobody know what take place in the past. But what I am saying, it's time for corruption to be the number one plate on the table to destroy. Guess that's how we get rid of petroleum? We should be working hard to get rid of corruption, Dale. Dale, were killing this country. His people cannot account for the public purse and flying high, eating good, drinking good. The next thing you hear, they're on suspension for 2 weeks, for 3 months, and you hear nothing. Right? The power money and all these things. Dale, let me look at it. Let me look at it. That could help the homelessness.
We out of time, caller. We'll continue this tomorrow.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959, 384-2232 or 378-1470.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM. Are you searching for the perfect venue for your wedding reception, company retreat, graduation celebration, or just an unforgettable party? Well, look no further. Vibes Event Space is ready to bring your event to life. Located at number 15 Mount Pleasant Boulevard, Bonaccord, Tobago. Our space offers the perfect settings for any occasion. Call us today at 394-3612 or 620-3057 to book your date. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Vibes Event Space to see what we're all about. Make your next event one to remember at Vibes the Event Space. The Event Space.
Black Friday starts now at Quartz. Get new and amazing deals every week with the lowest prices on the hottest electronics, top-of-the-line appliances, and stylish furniture. No need to waste your time shopping around. Plus, you can shop now and pay us in February 2025. For unbeatable value, the best deals are only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Everybody's talking future, but can they really give it to ya? Want to know where to invest? Open an MPF.
The one fund that guarantees principal and interest earned, has no service charges, no penalties, gives anytime access, and offers projected interest of 3%.
On your future, let's begin with the MPF. You're bound to win.
The Mortgage Participation Fund from HMB, a subsidiary of Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank. Visit mympf.com and own your future.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death. which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Champlain, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe. Young people of our nation, ignite your wellness journey with Nature's Touch Youth Health Caravan with Princess Omega and Associates. Prevent ill health today and reap the benefit of good health tomorrow. Join us every second and fourth Saturday of each month at 9:25 a.m. to 9:55 a.m., where we bring to you innovative health solutions. Invest in yourself today by ensuring that you're enjoying optimum health. We are located at number 3, 7th Avenue North via the Eastern Main Road, Barataria. For further information, please call or WhatsApp us at 868-310-8671 or 364-4464. Remember, at Nature's Touch, your health is our priority.
Oh God, call the Lord. Call on Him. Pour on us, God. Oh God, as we pray. Oh
You are invited to join Pastor Morris Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour all-night prayer every Friday evening, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this ministry deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Your free will gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated and can be sent through the First Citizens Bank, account 795-222, in the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For more information, please call 753-1113. May God richly bless you.
the light of your glory.
Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. Everybody just share the live. All on Facebook, share the live. All on IG, share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Everybody just share the live. You listening? Listen now.
On Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. I want everybody to share the live. Downtown Posse have to share the live. Uptown Posse have to share the live. Share the live. Share the live. Everybody just share the live. Tobago, share the live.
The following is a paid program.
Broadcasting from Trinidad to the world. The Street 919FM.com.
News from the Street 919FM.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon, I am Dale Edwards with the 4 p.m. news on the Street 919 FM. let's take a look at the headlines. A man from Point Fortin charged with 2 sex charges. A man is on 300K bail for cutlass attack. An opposition leader slammed for migrant deportation statement. Let's take a look now at the news in detail. A man identified as 37-year-old Brent Alexander, who is a resident of Point Legua Road, appeared before the court, Master Sarah De Silva, in the South Masters Court on the 27th of November, charged with 1 count of indecent assault and 1 count of causing a child to engage in sexual activity. The offenses the suspect has been charged for occurred on February 10, 2024. He was granted bail for the sum of $150,000 surety to cover the charges, with the conditions that he must not be in any contact with the minor involved. The case was then handed over to the Superior Magistrates Court, where Mr. Alexander is set to appear before a magistrate on the 15th of January 2025. In more news, a 52-year-old man identified as Anil Suku, who was charged with attempted murder, appeared before a High Court master that granted him bail of $300,000 surety. On the 26th of November, Mr. Suku appeared before Sarah De Silva in the South Criminal Court and was represented by attorney Ainsley Lockie. The charge stems from an incident that occurred around 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. It was told by police following the incident, Suku went to sleep and later called the police to report what had happened. It was also reported that the injured man was taken to the San Fernando General Hospital for treatment and was discharged on November 25th. Meanwhile, the master of the court laid conditions to the accused that he is required to report to the Barkport Police Station every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. In other news, responses from 2 cabinet ministers, Fitzgerald Hines, Minister of National Security, and the Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. Amy Brown, is condemning the stance the opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bissessar made on her mass deportation against any law-breaking Venezuelan in Trinidad and Tobago. Minister Hines stated he found it to be a cheap political strategy. He also said it was dangerous to society with the potential to spread unwarranted hate and anger. Speaking with the media, he stated Kamala Prasad Bissessar's comments have proven once again to him that she is nothing more than a political Christian and scraper. He even went as far as to compare her reckless outburst to mimicking a Donald Trump style of politics. In further news, wrecking has resumed in the capital as of Monday, says City Police Superintendent Glenn Charles. This following a pause on wrecking in Port of Spain, Charles explained that the halt became necessary as a result of mechanical problems with the wreckers. We have since got that sorted out with the assistance of VAMCOT because we wanted to ensure when the wreckers are on the road, they are roadworthy, and we want to ensure that the lift is working properly because it can sometimes cause damage to the vehicles and that might cause the state some additional expenses. He added they are concentrating their efforts in areas such as R. Peter Avenue, St. James, and downtown Port of Spain. Vehicles are currently being impounded at Dock Road on Anna Street Extension. On the matter of indiscriminate parking, Port of Spain Mayor Chinua Allen said, obviously we are not in support of people indiscriminately parking. It poses a significant challenge for not just the city and the burghers, but everybody who uses the city. He concluded by saying part of the traffic management plan for the city is ensuring that we have good egress from the city should there be any difficulties, so the resumption of parking enforcement using tow trucks is part of that effort. Now internationally, President-elect Donald Trump on Wednesday claimed Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has agreed to stop immigrants from reaching the U.S. southern border through Mexico, signaling he had scored a major diplomatic and political win during a phone call with the Mexican leader, although Sheinbaum later clarified that her country's position was not to close borders, but to address migration while respecting human rights. He said China would be subject to tariffs until it cracked down on smuggling drug fentanyl. Shinbem vowed earlier on Wednesday to retaliate if the U.S. triggered a trade war. Now let's take a look at sport. In Pleasantville Secondary is going all out to capture every possible secondary school football league girls title this season. Having already been crowned 2024 champions of the SSFL Girls Championship Big 5 Coca-Cola Intercol, South Zone and SSFL Under 15 Trinidad Pleasantville is working towards achieving an unprecedented 5 trophies this year. On November 28th, the Pleasantville Under 15s battle Bishop High of Tobago for the National Under 15 title at Lewis Street in San Fernando. On December 1st, the senior team met Miracle Ministries in the National Intercol semi-finals. Victory against Bishops would affirm them a 4th domestic title, while a win against Miracle Ministries assures them one more shot at the National Girls Intercol crown. Now that's all for sports. Let's take a look at the weather. Tonight will be generally settled apart from lingering isolated showers. Tonight's temperature in Trinidad will be 25 degrees Celsius and Tobago will be 26 degrees Celsius. Seas will be moderate with waves 2 meters to 2.5 meters in open waters and below 1 meter, occasionally choppy in sheltered areas. All marine interests are also advised to exercise caution, especially in northern coastal regions, due to the likelihood of long-period swells. That was it. Let's take a look at the headlines. Recapping, a man from Point Fortin charged with 2 sex charges. Also, a man is on bail for $300,000 for cutlass attack. An opposition leader slammed for migrant deportation. That was your news to 4 p.m. on the street, 919 FM. I'm Dale Edwards. Do have a fantastic afternoon. Up next, Future Talk with TC and Heavy Duty.
News from the street. News from the street.